I hope we have this in the right order. I'm scared. I don't know anything about what's going on. I've just been trying to relax and deal with my own stuff. This idea just sounded fun, and that's where we're staying with our attitude today. Whew. What? Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Bill. This is Trying to Stand, where I try new things in pop culture because I've been living under a rock. So I haven't done a video on Taylor Swift's music yet. I know some of her mega hits, but I don't really know anything about Taylor Swift. I think the song I've listened to the most is Shake It Off. So I'm not a Swiftie, so maybe I'm a shaky. I want that to be a thing. The Diet Coke of being a Taylor Swift fan. Like, kind of, but not really. That is how I know her. She was in Diet Coke ads before movies at the movie theater. It was something about, like, laughing at her exes, and then she would... That's really all I know. So I'm going in blind, but I did see that she dropped a new album recently. Congratulations. Or she said that there's 3 songs that connect. The fan theory that it's these 3 songs, Cardigan, August, and Betty. I want to see what my opinion is and if I agree or if I can find the connection there. Starting with Cardigan. This one has a music video. Because yeah, I think the last music video of Taylor Swift's I've seen... Last time I saw one was Look What You Made Me Do, where she like climbs over a mountain of her own selves. And she can't come to the phone right now. That's all I remember. Ooh. Oh. Okay, Gaga went to Wonderland and Taylor Swift went to Neverland. Hell yeah. This is definitely the year for escaping. Giving me a weekend eye. Damn. Oh, crap. Like, I was hoping, like, comfy, like a sweater or a cardigan, not, like, used laundry. That's upsetting. Sorry, that took me a second. I'm like, Taylor Swift, where's your legs? She stepped into the... Oh, my God. Oh, hey, I nailed it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, that's... Sorry, that's beautiful and hard to look at right now. Ew, oh, ew, I hate the breaking, like the music's going in and out. Oh, it's very jarring. It was beautiful. I loved the visuals of that video, and I loved the way that the song sounded. I love how soft her voice goes when it's deeper. A special thank you to our on-set medics, COVID-19 compliance personnel, and the crew for operating under the strict guidelines, including wearing PPE, practicing through sanitation, and respecting social distancing during the video shoot. Hell yes! Wear a mask. I did not think that I was gonna get so sucked in so fast to the visuals, but also like the song's so lulling and comforting, but like there's a worn, steadfast quality to it where adamantly not letting go, and then seeing her hanging onto her piano like a raft, that really like struck a nerve. And damn, I just really liked that. You know, hanging onto your music for Taylor Swift, creating it, but also like how it registered for me was also like not only an artist creating, but also taking in music and having music to kind of get you through those difficult and unpredictable moments, such as 2020, or also the story of the song. I think the parallels there were very strong and very well done. That comparison of like isolation, but then it being about a relationship. I think isolation and that escapism and that key being through music, whether it's to get you through it as a release when you create it or a release when you listen to it and take it in or interpret it, you know, sing it, dance it, whatever your response is to music and to art. I really loved that. I think it really drew a very tragically beautiful parallel between the two that I really admired, and it really kind of pulled me in. Same with the lyrics too, calling it sensual politics while speaking on how discredited you are when you're young, because it's such a dismissive thing to say when you're going through something at certain points in your life. That kind of term does kind of set you up for this experience, this exchange being such a high stakes thing to the people in the moment. Essentially a relationship, but it didn't sound like a positive one. Like I'd say a more negative or harmful, possibly toxic relationship in that isolating feeling, but I loved that it was music that kept guiding her through. It was music that opened up to going to Neverland, or to the forest land, to Rivendell. But then also it was music that kept her afloat. I really liked her voice. Like I said, like getting so soft and so low like that, it felt very fragile but adamant on your stance. Like you're still kind of processing it, but like starting to realize the negatives here. It sounded like someone starting to kind of piece it together. Timid in the sense of formulating it, but steadfast in the sense of standing up for yourself. Like it was still strong while processing. It felt very contemplative and like ingesting both your feelings and the situation, and I liked that kind of tenderness to it. But I don't think this relationship was good. When you are young, they assume you know nothing, sort of re-cementing that like you can be younger and be going through something and experiencing something. Like already feeling discredited in these memories or this situation. It's that comparison about being, as the namesake of the song, comparing yourself to an old cardigan under someone's bed. Like, so it sounds like you had bad experiences before this one. This person made you feel special. Chase two girls, lose the one. Giving me your weekends. I think it's about young love, and I think it's about how, despite the potential of people discrediting what you're experiencing as you're a young person experiencing it, it's still about that beauty of feeling, but also the intensity of that feeling. The validity of it, even when bringing up having a new phone and comparing you to Levi's, but then also comparing yourself to feeling like an old cardigan. It's interesting, like taking those kind of comparisons. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding. Like, I think it slowly does start to get a little more intense. Just like the opening statement says, like, you're dismissed so much when you're young, like your feelings are so much more complicated than that. And I kind of like going from sort of like a superficial, like kind of more minute details in the memories, like phones and clothes and things like that, and it starts to keep going and going, and suddenly the clothes are reminiscent of how you feel, but it's not, I felt like a cardigan, I felt warm and safe and dry. It was, I felt like a cardigan under someone's bed. Like you felt discarded and forgotten. And I really like that. I like how suddenly we're talking about clothes very lightly at the beginning, and it feels a little face value, but then suddenly there's another layer to the comparison of clothing when we get to the cardigan under the bed. And then damn, the leaving like a father running like water. Oh wow, okay, so I think this person got left. This relationship is done. I thought so, because I'm like, why did I get so many negative vibes? And it was like, you helped trace stars around my scars. I'm like, am I crazy? That sounds nice to have someone to talk about those things with. Like maybe you were cheated on or left for someone else, knowing like, just like how you'll always remember this, the other person will too. Just like how Taylor Swift's character is going to remember that heartache and that pain and that relationship, so does the other person. Letting that experience kind of conclude for that character, at least, is to remember, like, just like how I remember this person's gonna remember it too, and remember the thing you did. And like, God, I loved that. The imagery of the piano in the ocean, like, that really hit home for me. I really liked that. And like I said, I really love the sound of it. There was something about, like, the sound effects we were getting right at the very beginning and right at the very end. Like, because like I said, it sounded like tapping kind of in the opening, and it felt like it clicked. But then that distortion moving forward, it's like as you send that thought out of like, this will always hurt, but you will always have done this. Looking at it that way, as you start to move past this part of your life, that negative does kind of put a different lens on the positives that happened before it, warping that memory, or at least putting a blemish on it. And you could kind of hear it as we left the track, as well as you could hear the contemplation as we entered. I really liked that. And next we have August. No, Taylor, it's still July for a couple more days. Actually, it'll be August, I think, when this drops, won't it? So, ooh. Taylor Swift knows. Off to Never Never Land, take my hand. Because, yeah, I forgot, there was a lyric I wanted to talk about. There's a lyric about Peter and Wendy, and that was on accident. I did not know what the lyrics were. I just didn't want to say she went to Wonderland, because I'm like, Gaga's in Wonderland, Taylor's in Neverland. This is August, the official lyric video. August slipped away into a moment in time. Ooh. It was never mine. Huh? Ooh. Like, I really like her voice, and I love letting it just happen here, you know? Woo! Like that, right there. Like, you can feel the intention in it. Like, it's not just for funsies, you know? Oh. Oh. Wow. Sorry, that just super sucked me in. That really, like, just sent my brain to so much. So this is why you stayed on my trying to stand list even after Cats. Because goddamn, like, your voice sounded lovely. That song, like, even just fundamentally the music of it, like, you could feel the pain. You could feel someone trying to rationalize it and move forward. You could almost feel like starting to be at peace, and then, like, it was that high note kind of halfway-ish through. I'll have to look at the lyrics. But it was that high note that just popped out. And it's like right as you think you're starting to get over it, there's that, like, that twinge, that like physical response to a memory or that residual emotion that's still there from the experience. And it felt so human. Like, that really just kind of pulled me in. I'm sorry. I don't feel like my energy sunk by any means, but I just felt like my brain just, like, went. If we're trying to find a way to connect these songs, I think that was, I try to avoid genders and stuff and try to be all-inclusive, so, like, bear with me here. There was Cardigan, who was in a relationship with this person. There's August, who was the side person that Cardigan found out about. August's lament is still about having that delusion at the time that, like, this is a relationship. You know what I mean? So, because if Cardigan feels like they were left, and August feels like they were never truly with someone or a part of their lives. It was just a summer thing. It was just in August. Like, it just kind of slipped by. Wishing I could write into your back and canceled my plans in case you'd call. Like, yeah, like someone who has to drop everything and take the little nuggets of a relationship, and then someone who realized something was wrong. You know what I mean? That's interesting. And I kind of love it too because it normalizes the conversation of how August and Cardigan shouldn't be at odds, like addressing that they were both wronged. Does that make sense? But it's like, I don't know, there's something about it where it's like taking the humanity in the experience of the person and how by doing this, kind of like we said in Cardigan, like you're messing with two different people at this point. It's two different relationships, because no matter how lacking your commitment is, those are still relationships, and neither one of them is a complete one. And I like kind of getting these different perspectives on it. While one person is feeling lost and hurt and like something is gone, another person feels like they just kind of wasted their time, ignoring that it was hurting you, ignoring what you wanted to express, what you wanted to say, what you wanted this relationship to possibly try to be. Away your time went, you know, and your time is valuable. It's part of your life. Like, it felt like different flavors of the same feeling of both the care that you put into this person, how excited you were with this person, how this person made you feel, but then also the pain that's still there. And I really liked that. Like, it makes the whole experience, these points of view, feel very grounded and very human. The high note really hit on that like nerve of emotion, but then the little like with those little scoops up vocally, it felt giddy, it felt excited, it had this life to it, but they're so lamenting, they're fleeting. It was those little moments when they could finally be together when the emotion would go up. Like scoop into like a little staccato moment. I don't know what the word is. Music theory was the class I did the worst in school, but it's that little scoop up. Like it was like little nuggets, like little, is that it? I get to see you? And then you're gone. Behind them all, I'll be there. Like that little perk in your step that like, and it goes away so fast. I really liked that. It's really upsetting though. I'm very aware of the internet jokes of like, haha, Taylor Swift writes a lot of breakup songs, which I don't care, you do you. I don't see that as a negative, it's the intention of it. But I feel like this is the evolution of what you would conceive to be a Taylor Swift breakup song, if that makes sense. Like if this is a Taylor Swift breakup song, I want all the Taylor Swift breakup songs. Gave me moments to kind of touch and reflect on my experiences in life, both in the impact others have had on me, but also the potential impact I could have had on others. Like it really helps you kind of look at those things and start to consider like, while I was going through this, like who knows what other people were going through. You know what I mean? And I think it really kind of helps beget that thought. That was it too. I really liked that lyric. It was in the chorus, I can see us twisted in bed sheets. Like there's something about that where it's like, first it sounds very sexy and very fun and like, ooh, I want to touch your back. But then it's like twisted in bed sheets. Like it kind of just almost like negative, like poignant. Like I start to think like vines, like you're stuck. Like it's a repetitive thing after, meet me behind the mall, and it goes from like, oh, we've tied a human pretzel knot together, aren't we? Sexy fun, to like, I'm stuck doing this too. Like I catch myself not wanting to leave. It's strange, like how much it just changes the more details you get, which has been a good thing. It's good in storytelling. That like grooved too. This genre of like folky pop really suits her. I really like it. We're closing out the night with the official lyric video for Taylor Swift's Betty from her new album, Folklore. Oh, folklore, like folk music, like folk stories. I'm stupid. I get it now. That's really clever. I'm just not worthy. Ooh. Don't play with my Bruce Springsteen fan heart with that harmonica.
Switched your homeroom, but I think it's 'cause of me.
Oh.
You can't believe a word she says, Mom.
Oh!
Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself?
Yeah. You.
Don't know anything, but I know I miss you.
That's not accountability.
Plus I saw you dance with him.
Man, you. You dance with this person said a thing. What the hell?
I know I miss you.
Oh, there was something musically about I miss you. Like it just kind of wavers a little bit. Yeah, I don't trust you, Phyllis.
Oh, I showed up at your party.
Why?
Kissed me on the porch in front of all your stupid.
Whoa! You.
Standing in your cardigan.
Oh! You don't get to bring up the cardigan like that. Ooh, and then the car sound at the end, like the door. Ugh. This is like the millionth time in a row Bill's gonna talk out of his ass. So I apologize in advance for that. I'm gonna do my best. This sounds like a person who almost apologized, but then just started pointing fingers and making excuses. And I think that's the point. I think that's kind of what we're going for here, because we've illustrated so much the point of view of the two others that were involved, Cardigan and August. Now I'm gonna call the third one Betty. Or Butthole. I'm gonna say Butthole. I think Butthole showed up and was like, hey, it's just rumors, but they weren't even talking, because it's like, I think I know why you switched homeroom, like you switched your schedule, like we're not in classes anymore. What if I showed up at your party and then at the end showing up anyway, and like you're like saying like, what if we kiss on the porch in front of your stupid friends? Like it's so negative, and it feels like someone who won't own up to it. It's weird. Like this whole thing starts with, people dismiss the emotions of younger people. I agree. I think sometimes it's easy for us to forget what that was like, myself included at times. I think it's interesting how it's all these weird excuses and neglecting and like pushing the accountability and responsibility onto others. And it's so interesting because as soon as it hits the like, I'm 17, like I don't know anything, I feel like that's the only legitimate sentence to come out of this POV's mouth. Expertly done. Taylor Swift and what was the name? Taylor Swift and William Bowery. Excellently done. This, I felt like, told more of a story. It really sucked me in. I'm only 17. I don't know anything. Not having like the life experience to like, talk about these things the right way or understand the impact that you're having on someone. I could almost see that, but then being so like just negating everybody else, shirking all that accountability away, not taking any of it for yourself. There's no apology here. There's no remorse here. It sounds like you're just upset that you got caught. You know what I mean? Taking the accountability of, I'm not very experienced in this. I wasn't, like, even just saying, like, I didn't think about other people. I'm not in a place where I am thinking about other people. Maybe I need to stop being in a relationship. Like, keeping it on yourself, but just negating and deflecting it to everybody else. And then getting so hostile, again, the stupid friends line, you know I miss you, but like, oh, it was just a summer thing and all this crap. And then like it ends with like, I've been planning this out for weeks. Right now is the last time I can dream about what happens when you see my face again. Like almost sounding like Betty has a ticking time to respond and forgive you. Like it's very interesting, and I think we instantly start to get a taste of that disconnect as soon as we hit the harmonica at the beginning. It made my Bruce Springsteen fanboy heart leap and then sink. I think just adding in an instrument that isn't in the other two, it's like, and now comes this very different perspective of the same story. You know what I mean? But I know I miss you. Like the vowel just wasn't right with the rest of Taylor Swift's tone, and it kind of like waved a little bit. It dips in the actual word, in the vowel itself. You can just kind of hear like this little bit of like strain musically, and I think that's there to kind of like prep you for the lack of credibility this person has. I really like it, the three of them as a whole. I love addressing this kind of point of view because I also think no one wins in this situation. It's not the person that was in the relationship that no longer is. It's not the person who got a sexy August summer out of it. It's definitely not it's not the person who's sitting there being detested by not only the people that used to be in your life, but the people around you. There's rumors happening and you're trying to just cover your ass. I think it starts to normalize that conversation and that process of considering things beyond the now. I think the story of these three characters, like it is very heartbreaking. It's very sad, but it's also very like fearless. Both Cardigan and August are very forthcoming in their feelings. Like I said, I loved the visuals in the Cardigan music video, but I also loved in August like both acknowledging what you felt in the moment, but then also the dread that slowly started to grow, and then realizing all the little hoops you would jump through for somebody else, trying to keep this a secret and realizing that that was a detriment to you, fully taking in what happened to you in the last month of your life, being this other person's secondary dish. I think it really brings a lot of life to not only that kind of paradigm and predicament, but also to, I don't know, there's something about it where like the conclusion I make is this person's just not ready to care about other people yet. But I loved the music of them all too. Like I loved how they felt very different. This one too, like it even felt like just rhythmically, like the music just felt just a little more panicked, a little more pushy. And like I said, like including that harmonica too, like adding in that other instrument, it changes the sound. Suddenly there's something different when we talk to just this one person. This is the story that doesn't line up. The delusion, the warped mentality, the trying to get out of it, the person digging a deeper hole. I really liked that. Not the tactics that the character uses, but illustrating that this happens. I don't know, there's something about it too where, yes, I try to approach gender a little lighter. I also don't think I really have like a hard grasp on what everyone's gender identity is. And I kind of like that because it kind of keeps things a little more open as far as the paradigm and the relatability. I loved whoever sat there, because you found the songs, right? Like I haven't really seen anything about this other than Taylor Swift dropped an album. Whoever it was that like started to piece these songs together, like bravo, because that's really cool. And I do think they fit really well. I would argue, yeah, Betty being last adds a reveal kind of element to the third act, but I would actually start with Betty because I like this idea of starting with the hostile, warped mentality, and then it's like, ooh, something happened, and like what happened, like who's Betty and what's going on. And then by hearing the two songs, it's irrelevant who Betty was. You start to feel like the real pain. And it kind of has this feeling of, by knowing the perspective of Butthole, I think it enriches it a little more because you're kind of already ready to go like, oh, where's the fight? Where's the conflict? What's going on? Like, why don't you just talk to him? And then, oh. But I do agree with the ordering as far as like structuring a 3-part story. That is where that other reveal kind of just drops 100%. I just like taking that structure and warping it so you know what happened and then it's how did we get here. That's me personally. I think these 3 songs do connect, and I do like the ordering of it. I just, like I said, I like the idea of starting with the disconnect and then seeing the grounded reality of it all. but I do like the order as far as telling a 3-act story goes. It does speak on immaturity. That's kind of, I think, the takeaway for me is like if someone was truly able to or willing to kind of look at themselves, this response would be so different. Crap, that was really cool. I am interested in catching up on what Taylor Swift's been up to musically, if you guys are down for that. But yeah, there you guys go. What do you guys think? What do you think of my thoughts? What do you think of the songs? Are there other Taylor Swift songs you want me to listen to? Other artists you want me to check out? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want more. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for being patient with me these last couple weeks while I'm trying to juggle and deal with my own mental stressors and medical stressors and health and everything. I'm doing a lot better. I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kindness. Don't forget, there are links in the description, both on information on Black Lives Matter and the Trevor Project, as well as mental health resources. Be respectful and mindful of others. Stay updated on what's going on in the world and what's going on with you. And remember to take care of yourselves, please.